There is a specific kind of tired that 8 hours of sleep simply cannot fix. It's the feeling of standing completely still while the rest of your life keeps moving at terminal velocity. You feel it when you're lying awake at 2 a.m., cycling through tomorrow's anxieties, or carrying the quiet, crushing weight of expectations you haven't spoken out loud to anyone. We are constantly told that the answer is to grit our teeth and push through. The advice is stay strong, optimize our routines, and handle every crisis alone. So we try to cope. We scroll for hours to tune out the noise, or we book a weekend away, hoping the scenery will reset our minds. But those are just pauses. The heavy lifting is waiting for us the exact moment we plug back in. Trying to manage that burden using the world's methods creates a closed loop. We expend energy to manage our stress, which creates more stress, guaranteeing that true rest remains permanently out of reach as long as we act alone. We fall into the trap of the illusion of control. It's the belief that if we can just anticipate every variable, map out every contingency, and manage every moving part, we can keep disaster at bay. But trying to play architect to your own universe is heavy. When you have no external support structure to lean on, you are the only thing keeping the roof from caving in. This chart illustrates the cost of self-reliance. As the effort required to maintain control trends upward, our internal energy reserves do not just dip, they rapidly deplete. The tighter we grip the wheel, the faster we burn out. That severe exhaustion isn't a symptom of laziness or a lack of effort. It happens because we are trusting a flawed, fragile system, our own limited capacity. 2,000 years ago, the cultural landscape was defined by an impossible system of rules. People were crushed under strict societal expectations and a rigid religious legalism that demanded perfection but offered no help. Speaking directly to a crowd suffocated under that exact pressure, Jesus offered an alternative. He said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." The language translates seamlessly to the present day. The religious exhaustion of the first century operates on the exact same mechanism as the silent, anxiety-driven burnout of the modern professional holding together a fracturing life. Jesus was addressing a specific kind of soul fatigue, the internal depletion that occurs when you try to resolve life's brokenness through human effort alone. That invitation completely bypasses the need to fix the external circumstances first. Jesus doesn't offer a new checklist or a strategy for stress management. He targets the core internal exhaustion directly. The world offers solutions in the form of action items. Clear your inbox, take a vacation, read a self-help book. Jesus offers a solution found entirely in a person. This diagram shows how biblical rest functions. It's an active transfer, the deliberate, mechanical act of shifting the center of gravity off your fracturing shoulders. Instead of white-knuckling our circumstances, we open our hands, letting that heavy block settle onto an unmovable foundation. The deadlines, the bills, and the health scares remain part of the reality. However, the internal burden of solving them moves from your isolated shoulders to a shared yoke with someone whose capacity is infinite. True rest exists in the middle of the storm, finding its security in the one who commands the wind and the waves. The internal realization that the universe doesn't rely on your anxiety triggers a massive psychological decompression. When the mental load of managing every outcome is removed, the body finally receives the signal to stop bracing for impact. This creates what we can call trust in chaos. It is a deep, anchored peace that persists even when life feels wildly overwhelming, because you know God is actively managing the variables. And the invitation comes with no prerequisites. Jesus does not demand that you clean up your mess, organize your thoughts, or fix your life before you are allowed to approach him. Despair is a collapse, where the weight is dropped because you simply cannot carry it another inch. Surrender is a choice, where the weight is placed into the hands of the Creator, turning a moment of exhaustion into an act of trust. Relinquishing control to the Creator is never a sign of weakness. When our own capacity is clearly failing, acknowledging our limits and trusting God is the only logical path to deep, sustaining peace. So stop striving for just a second. Physically pause whatever you are doing right now and give yourself permission to acknowledge how exhausted you actually are. Take those specific silent struggles, the relationship stress, the financial anxiety, the fear of the future, and mentally hand them over. Give them to Jesus. The instruction to come to me is written in the present tense. It is meant to be a daily, ongoing practice, a rhythm of constantly returning to the source of peace, rather than a one-time transaction. Take a deep breath, release the illusion that you have to control every outcome, and accept the divine invitation to finally, truly rest.